Welcome to a very special cinematic explainer. Just a quick heads up, before we dive in, I've actually initiated the creation of a detailed video overview for you guys, which is going to present this whole cinematic recreation of the story. You'll be able to watch it right over in the Studio tab once it finishes processing. But for right now, I'm going to be your narrator, your guide, and I'll even be stepping directly into the shoes of our main characters. So let me shift into my female voice to introduce our protagonist, Hana Ishida. Picture this. It's a bustling lecture hall at Singapore International University. I'm sitting there, a music major, feeling like your classic invisible girl. My mind is just this total whirlwind of melodies. But my eyes? Well, they're completely locked on Park Ji-hoon. He's this gorgeous football star who literally doesn't even know I exist. I'm just hiding in the background, totally comfortable in my invisibility, right up until a massive plot device wearing a black jersey slides into the seat right next to me.
Now, before we get too deep into things, I'm actually going to do something a little crazy and give away the ending right here at the very beginning. If I have to break the fourth wall and look right at you right now, it's to deliver this absolutely crucial life lesson. Stop waiting for someone to fix you. Seriously. For the longest time, I thought I was irreparably broken because of some deep trauma in my past. But as you're going to see, this whole journey wasn't about finding a knight in shining armor to save me. It was about realizing I was already whole. But hey, to understand exactly how I figured that out, we've got to rewind back to that stuffy ethics classroom.
Okay, so back to the lecture hall. I've got this intense, super quiet crush on Park Ji-hoon. I'm sitting there analyzing his rugged features and those soulful brown eyes, dreaming of some magical connection, but let's be real, I am way too terrified to actually talk to him. It's literally the ultimate unrequited campus trope. My whole public vibe is quiet, artsy, and totally off the radar of the elite athlete crowd. But then, enter Arjun Malhotra. This guy is the absolute polar opposite of Ji-hoon. Arjun is the cocky, broad-shouldered captain of the championship-winning hockey team, and he's got a massive problem that only my brain can solve. So stepping into Arjun's perspective for a second here, Hana, I've failed. Ethics is my absolute arch enemy, and you got to tutor me. Listen, Coach Jensen is literally threatening to bench me if I don't absolutely crush this makeup midterm, and I desperately need a C+ average to stay on the ice. So I'm looking at this girl who just casually aced the hardest test of the year with her own unique brand of philosophical analysis, and I'm thinking, she's my ticket. And I'm persistent, okay? I do not take no for an answer. I even sent her a picture of my sculpted pecs just to, butter her up, which, spoiler alert, totally and completely failed. No way was that working. I definitely needed a new strategy.
So here's where we strike the deal. As Arjun, I realized pretty quick that I had to offer her something she actually cared about. I laid out the mechanics of a mutually beneficial arrangement. I told her, look, it's a fake date, Hana. We mingle at parties, we totally ignore him, and he goes absolutely crazy with jealousy. Do we have a deal? Basically, I'm offering up my elite social clout to make the elusive Ji-hoon incredibly jealous, so he finally notices her. And in exchange, I get full access to her brilliant, analytical brain so I can pass ethics, keep my captaincy, and stay right on track for the pros. It sounded like the perfect transaction. Or, well, so we thought. Viewing this back through Hana's eyes, we kick off these intense tutoring sessions at Arjun's super rowdy off-campus house. We're talking teammates everywhere, overflowing beer cans, the whole shebang. But something completely unexpected starts happening in the middle of all that chaos. The lines between our little fake arrangement and reality, they start blurring alarmingly fast. We're spending hours and hours together, just bantering, debating philosophy, watching random TV shows until like 3 in the morning. I'm starting to see way past that cocky jock exterior to a guy who is genuinely funny, incredibly driven, and honestly, surprisingly sweet. And the craziest part? He's seeing me. Not just the invisible girl in the back of the class, but the real me. Switching back to Arjun's mindset, the real turning point happened late one night. I walked into the room and just found Hana softly singing while playing her guitar. Her eyes were closed, completely lost in the music. I was literally stopped dead in my tracks. I just looked at her and said, "Your voice, it gives me chills, Hana. You shouldn't be in a duet. You should be under a single spotlight." Let me tell you, all my cocky bravado completely vanished in that second. I was genuinely, absolutely in awe of her talent. It was this incredibly quiet, profound moment where it hit me like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just some transactional deal anymore. I was falling for her. Big time. As our connection got deeper, things got very real, very fast. Both of us were hiding some massive emotional baggage behind our everyday masks. To everyone on campus, Arjun was this flawless, millionaire hockey captain who just had it all together. And to the campus, Hana was just the quiet, artsy music major. But in private, wow. We were both carrying around this super heavy weight of trauma. We were guarding these dark, painful secrets to protect ourselves from a world that, honestly, hadn't always been very kind of us. But as that trust started to build between us, those heavy brick walls finally started to come down.
Speaking as Hana, I can tell you that opening up was absolutely terrifying. I finally revealed the nightmare of my past, an assault I endured back in Japan when I was just 15. I shared how the legal system completely and utterly failed me, leaving my family drowning in debt and leaving me struggling with intense panic attacks at parties. But you know what? Opening up to Arjun actually helped me vocalize the single most important lesson from my therapy. I am not what happened to me. I am a survivor. I'm someone who copes, who fights, and who flat out refuses to be defined as a victim.
Taking on Arjun's perspective now, hearing Hana's pain absolutely ripped me apart inside. But seeing her fierce strength, that gave me the courage to finally drop my own mask. I told her the dark, ugly truth about my father, Vikram Malhotra. To the rest of the world, the guy is a hockey legend, a total hero. But behind closed doors, I told her, he's a monster at home, Hana. My mother and I were just props to him. He used his fists to literally beat toughness into me from the time I was 12 years old. And Hana's reaction? It wasn't pity, not at all. It was this fierce, protective support. She just held my hand and promised me that I would never, ever be like him.
Okay, so every great story needs a climax, right? And ours arrived during this incredibly tense Diwali dinner at Vikram's massive estate. Behind the scenes, away from everyone, Vikram cornered Hana. He delivered this brutal blackmail ultimatum. He told her to break up with me or he would completely cut off my tuition, my hockey funding, everything. He knew that if he threatened my dream of going pro, Hana would do whatever it took to protect me. So, genuinely believing she was saving my future, she executed the classic, heartbreaking, noble sacrifice and completely ended our relationship. Stepping back into Hana's shoes to rate that whole experience for you? 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Seriously, I thought I was doing the right thing, breaking his heart just to save his career. I straight up lied and told him we were moving too fast, that I wanted to see other people. Let me tell you, watching the absolute devastation in his eyes was the worst moment of my entire life. I spent that whole week feeling like an empty, hollow shell. You know, making a noble sacrifice in the movies always looks so heroic and romantic, but in reality, it's just agonizingly painful. But hey, Arjun is an athlete, and athletes do not give up. As Arjun, I just knew something was wrong. I knew she loved me. So right after a massive game, I tracked her down. I literally cornered her, still dripping wet from the post-game showers. I was absolutely not letting her run away this time. I demanded the truth. I needed to know exactly why she blew up our perfectly good relationship when we were both so undeniably in love with each other. And finally, she cracked. She broke down and told me all about my father's blackmail. And here is where I get to drop the ultimate plot twist on her. I looked at her and said, "You broke up with me because of him? Hana, I love you. I don't give a damn about his money." I actually started laughing, which honestly totally confused her at first, and then I revealed my ace in the hole. Turns out my grandparents had set up a secret trust fund for me years ago. I receive a monthly allowance that completely pays for my tuition, my gear, my life. I was 100% financially independent. My father had absolutely zero power over me, which meant his big, scary threat was entirely empty. And just like that, the shadows totally lift. As Arjun, I go on to lead my hockey team to a massive shutout victory at the Asia University Games. And I'm skating with this absolute freedom, knowing I have Hana cheering for me right there in the stands. And as Hana, I finally step out into the spotlight. I stop hiding in the background. I walk right out onto that stage for the Winter Showcase and sing my own song, confidently embracing the talent that Arjun always saw in me. It's this beautiful, shared triumph over our pasts and all of our fears. And speaking of triumph, as Hana, I proudly secured the bag. I actually won the showcase, which came with a super sweet $5,000 scholarship. But you know, that money wasn't just a prize. It was a literal proof of my own financial and emotional self-reliance. I didn't need to depend on anyone else, and I definitely didn't need to fear the future anymore. I had finally found my voice, both literally and figuratively, and I was standing entirely on my own 2 feet. As we wrap up this explainer, let's crystallize those key takeaways directly from Hana's journey. Number 1, stop waiting for someone to fix you. You are already strong enough. Number 2, trust is absolutely the ultimate risk, but it is for sure the only way to genuinely connect and win at life. Number 3,
Forget about making the Park Ji-hoons of the world jealous. The only person you need to impress is the one looking back at you in the mirror. And number 4, always check for secret trust funds. Seriously, guys, they are a literal lifesaver. So merging both Hana and Arjun's perspectives back into your host, I want to leave you with this final provocative question. Are you ready to drop your masks and take the ultimate risk? Stop living a fake narrative just to impress the crowd. Embrace the vulnerability required to truly connect with others. Because honestly, that is exactly where the real magic happens. Thank you so much for joining me on this cinematic explainer. I really hope this story inspired you as much as it inspired me. Until next time, stay curious, stay authentic, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Suverni Labs. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an update.